If you don't know, the purple Makita and the olive colored Makita are JDM, Japanese domestic market, Japanese made Makitas. This is the TD001. This is the TD002. The TD002 has dual spring technology and 4 LEDs on the front. The TD001 has 2 LEDs on the front. The teal Makita is the USA sold version of the TD001. I'll talk more about how I acquired this and my thoughts on that process at the end of the video. Both of these JDM Japanese-made Makitas have chucks that are deeper than the chuck on the American Makita. These chucks are made to accept a 13mm anvil on a bit, such as this vessel bit that has a 13mm offset on the detent on the anvil. And this is the E6 anvil, which is very common in pretty much the rest of the world. The E6 locks into the Makita that's made for the American market. It locks into these, but what is it pushing against, and is it a good idea? I've gotten feedback from a viewer that indicated that they had a jam of an E6 anvil in the Japanese chuck. I personally don't use E6 in my JDM Makitas because I bought them specifically for all of the Japanese style bits and accessories. If you want to properly use E6 bits in these JDM Makitas, there is a part made by Makita, A-44672, and it's called the Bit Piece. And this bit piece goes inside a JDM Japanese chuck so that the E6 is properly resting against the bottom of the chuck. They have a divot in this to make it compatible with these double-ended bits that have the 9mm offset on the detent but are double-ended and have a tip. The tip of it extends a little bit beyond the 9mm offset. And this is page 72 in the Vessel General Catalog. So that's why Makita made the bit piece like this, so that it has all the compatibility with bits sold in the Japanese market and all the bits that are sold in other markets. When this bit piece goes into the chuck, is it stuck there? I was afraid that that bit piece would be stuck in there and that I would lose my JDM chuck because I had this bit piece in there that I couldn't remove. Well, the opposite is actually the case. This bit piece falls right out. So that proposes a completely different problem. If you use the Makita bit piece and you're using the E6 bits, if you're out in the field, out on a job site, and you're changing bits, you run the risk of losing this. So that's the caveat with these. Yes, they properly adapt, but you have to be really careful not to lose this thing. So now that I've gotten over my fear of losing cutoffs and adapters inside these chucks, I decided to DIY my own cutoff. So after trial and error, I ended up around 6mm, probably another ½ millimeter less, maybe even down to 5mm, might be a little bit more ideal. I wanted to push it a little bit and try to take out some of the axial sloppiness. So this is the axial sloppiness that I'm talking about. I wanted to try to remove that by making this a little bit longer than it probably should be, so it locks. Okay, see there, it didn't lock. Okay, now it's locked, but I've got only about 1 millimeter of this axial play on here. The DIY solution, because it's a full hex, it sits behind those locking BBs and it won't slide out. You have to remove it by actuating the chuck and going in there with something magnetic to pull that back out. I don't actually intend on using these drills with E6 bits in them. For me, this was just an intense curiosity. I had to see what this Makita bit piece was like. I had to try this DIY solution. So those are two choices you have for using E6 bits in a JDM Makita. Today is Thanksgiving 2022. I just checked and Amazon Japan had tool-only TD001 Makitas for about $152 US plus shipping. That's a really good deal. These run out of stock. You know, you're going to want to come back to my video, use my affiliate link again, and check the stock, right? Okay, thank you. I'll give you Amazon links for this one, but they're probably going to include battery and charger. I'll put all the Amazon affiliate links I can find for any of the colors of the TD002. Notice that the tool-only version of this has been very scarce on Amazon Japan. I bought this through eBay, and I'm reluctant to give you the link to the eBay seller that I used. I admit that I'm a nervous buyer when it comes to this kind of stuff. I want tracking every day. I want to know where that product is until it comes to my door. So the eBay seller I chose did come through, but they didn't respond to 3 of my messages asking if the product had been shipped. For 2 weeks it had not been shipped, and then they finally shipped it, FedEx, with a tracking number, and then FedEx seemed to lose it into a black hole for 3 or 4 days. It didn't move. It was delayed 2 days beyond its original projected delivery date. I've had such a good experience using Amazon Japan. I prefer that. Plus, I am an affiliate and I do get money when you use my links. Put the product in your cart and purchase it within 24 hours. You know, that takes a little bit out of Amazon's pocket, puts a little bit in my pocket. So again, that's why I tend to only talk about Amazon Japan. And finally, it's Thanksgiving, and I want to say thank you to my viewers who informed me about the Makita Bit Piece. I would not have known about that without my viewers commenting. And thank you for the part number. Even after I knew about it, I searched and searched and I could not find it without this part number. I was searching on, offset, shim, spacer, adapter, converter, all the wrong words. It's just called the Makita Bit Piece. I never would have guessed that search term. I was not able to find it on Amazon by punching in search terms. Thank you to the viewers that looked up the part numbers and gave me the part numbers in the comments of a previous video. And I'm very thankful and grateful for my viewers that tell me about things I don't know, tell me about products I don't know about. I do appreciate that, and I do research those things. I don't always buy all the things that people suggest, and I don't always even comment on the things that people suggest. But I do appreciate it, and thank you very much. Have a very good Thanksgiving 2022. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for watching.